This is Bimbo News with your hosts, Allie Siegel, Melissa Stecky.
Hello and welcome to Webcrawler's Bimbo News. We're back, baby. I'm Allie Siegel.
I am Melissa Stettin.
This is a podcast where we'll cover everything from viral news stories to pop culture to things that we watched on TV during the week. We have a Patreon. Our true crime episodes are now only available at patreon.com/webcrawlers for $5 a month. So if you like our true crime, supernatural, cults, paranormal content, hop over to our Patreon because that's where you will get it with Maria as our third co-host. Also, please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts and call into our hotline and leave a voicemail if you'd like to be on our mailbag episodes. The number is
626-63-420-69. Nice.
And those mailbags will be about once a month or so now.
Yeah. When we get a good batch of voicemails.
And
once a month.
We'll plop those out. Yeah.
So, plop them
Melissa,
out.
we'll birth a voicemail episode once a month now. Who are our new patrons?
Well, it's been a few months. Our spring break
doozy
was a few months.
Yeah, we went on a spring break bender and forgot to come back, but a
lot of crazy things happened.
Yeah, one thing after another. Yeah,
one thing after the other. Got COVID. Dogs almost died.
Yeah, COVID's, dogs dying.
People going out of town.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, humans. Yeah. Anyway, we've got Heidi F, who I'm assuming is Heidi Fleiss.
Yes.
Maxwell B, Kestrel M, Rebecca G, Angela, Nicole W, Tim, Camila A, Meg S, Michael S, Hannah M, Lauren Z, Tate, Catherine, Elizabeth H, Jack, Sabrina.
Oh my God, do you think it's Jack? What's his name?
Jack
Bouvier? Whatever.
Schlossinger? Kennedy? I hope so. Jessica H, Heather W, David S, Pumpkins, Kirsten D, Aubrey M, Katie C, Monique M, Jessica C, Kiara K, Jessica, I already did Jessica C, Jennifer H, Lauren M, Samantha Q, Iris H, Annie Not Okay, and Brittany L.
Welcome to the team, folks. We are so excited to have you, and especially excited to have you, Jack.
Jackie Jack.
This week in Weird, let's get into it. I feel like so much stuff happened, and then I forgot to write it down and couldn't keep on top of it. And then I was like, oh God, we have to put it for the episode, and I just forgot. But here, this is one thing I read that's actually really kind of bizarre. So there is a Titanic exhibit in Chicago. Chicago, Illinois. It's a $6 million exhibit. It features rare artifacts. It has a 1912 Renault car, which was submerged, a whole bunch of other interesting stuff. And the exhibit got flooded. But here's the thing is they can't figure out a point of entry from where all the water got in.
Is it water from Lake Michigan? There's a river?
They can't figure it out. They're completely baffled as to how water got into the museum, where it came from.
How is this? Oh, the museum opened a year ago. Okay, because I've never heard of this.
Yeah. So they said, despite thorough inspections, there are no broken pipes, no roof leaks, no other obvious points of entry for the water that they found. Even the perimeter of the building, which has a concrete floor, was dry with no evidence of cracks or holes. And the museum has a history of paranormal activity.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Now we're talking. There's been a lot of unexplainable and unusual events happening at this museum prior to the Titanic exhibit. So people are thinking, like, is this some sort of paranormal activity where ghost water Hashtag ghost water question mark?
Hashtag ghost water. Oh, it's not even on. It's in the suburbs of Chicago. So it's not even like on like Michigan. It's just like a pipe.
Yeah.
Like sewer water maybe or something.
No, but it wasn't though. There's
Weird.
it's just like it's almost like someone dumped a bunch of water inside and then left, but that didn't
That's a lot
happen.
of buckets.
Yeah. So if you guys have any idea what you think happened, all the whole exhibit got flooded. All of a sudden,
Whoa.
like there's footage of water just like filling up the exhibit a few inches.
Weird.
And they have no idea, like no point of entry for the water. It's just mysterious ghost water. And it's not a
Ghost
hoax.
water.
It's not a hoax.
Yeah,
video
no,
or
it's on
something like that.
NBC Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
Mysterious flood.
I mean, I'm reading this from timesofIndia.indiatimes.com. So you know it's real. It's crazy.
Yeah, there's footage of it. Whoa, weird.
Yeah. So even weirder.
This is the first flood to happen in this building in 40 years.
Exactly.
There hasn't been a flood in here for 40 years.
For 40 years. This also, I sent this to the group chat a while ago.
this is
Our
good.
group chat is obsessed with health and weird health stuff.
We're doctors.
Yeah, we are actual literal
Yeah,
doctors.
literal.
And half of us, me and Maria, always think that we have some sort of ailment, and Melissa is constantly curing our ailments. And
Yes. Quick Google searches, just putting stuff together. It's like solving a puzzle in your body.
yeah, and my Instagram algorithm is a mess of just woo-woo stuff to cure whatever you're dying
sometimes
from.
you do have things wrong with you
True. And sometimes
that
the
we
woo-woo-
find out before your
Yes.
doctor.
that I diagnose myself. And sometimes Instagram does show me alternative cures that actually work. So for
Absolutely.
example, did you know that riding Thunder Mountain at Disneyland can help you pass a kidney stone?
Wow.
So I know. It's crazy. So I guess this is from, I mean, it's tested, like doctors tested
Yeah.
it somehow. So I guess research suggests that riding roller coasters can help coax kidney stones out. And apparently how this started was, I guess, a bunch of people who had kidney stones
Right.
would go to like that's good. This is good for the video. I forgot that I had mascara on and I was scratching my eye and just smeared mascara
like a
all over my
raccoon.
face. This is good. This is what happens when we stop recording regularly.
This is why we don't.
So this is why we had a mental health break. So people would go on roller coasters and be like, "Oh my god! After I went on this roller coaster, I passed a kidney stone." They'd say it on Reddit
I mean, that
or
makes sense.
Facebook.
If the way to get a kidney stone out is like movement, I guess.
Jostling around.
I guess.
I don't know. So
That's weird.
a team of researchers took a trip to Disney World in Orlando, Florida. They rode Big Thunder Mountain Railroad 20 times while wearing a backpack containing a 3D printed transparent kidney with a stone inside. By tracking how far
Did
the
it have
stone
its own seat?
Yeah, that's actually a great question.
One
By
ticket
tracking
for my kidney, please.
yeah, how far the stone traveled after each ride as a result of the differing forces, they found that sitting in the back and front of the coaster resulted in a pass stone 64% and 17% of each ride respectively. So I guess the back, if you sit in the back, you'll pass a stone 64%
Right,
of
because
the
that's the
time.
craziest.
That's
part.
yeah. The
Yeah,
front
yeah, yeah.
only 17%. So,
That's fascinating.
but I would say that's not Thunder Mountain isn't like a crazy ride. So I wonder if
Right? Because
it's
like, isn't Space Mountain like more?
jostly.
But I wonder if Thunder Mountain is like, because it's older, right? I wonder if it has more like,
It's kind of more
like-
bumpy kind. Like
yeah,
it's like
bumpier, not as smooth as
right.
Space Mountain.
I wonder if there's a particular kind of. It's
Maybe it has
cheaper
had
than
more
going
bumps.
right. It's cheaper than going to the ER, is
Yes,
what
it
they're
is.
saying. They're saying it's cheaper to go to Disneyland and ride Big Thunder Mountain than it is
Even
to
if
go
you
to
have
the
to
ER
wait
and get it
3
removed.
hours in line for it,
Yeah.
it's still less time at the emergency room.
So try that out. I also thought it was funny that they had the 3D printed kidney with a kidney stone inside of it.
That's
'Cause
funny.
my ass thought for some reason that they would just have people with kidney stones ride the ride and then just test. Isn't that how you thought they did it? I did not think that they would do it.
I thought that, yeah, that's how I thought they did it.
I thought that's how they would test it. I thought that they would just do like kidney stone day at Disneyland and then just do scientific testing on the ride. But
Come in, get an X-ray, and then you get in.
But their way makes way more sense. If you have ever passed some sort of a kidney stone on
I've never had one, have you?
No, I've never had one, but they're supposedly hugely painful, I've heard.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Let us
Can't
know if
wait.
you've ever passed a kidney stone on a ride. Melissa, what else is going on?
Well, there's a lot of stuff going on in sports news, but this is...
Do you think you got COVID at the WNBA game?
You know what? I don't think so, because I think it was more than a week after I went.
Yeah.
And no one else got it.
Yeah, none
who
of
was
us.
there.
Yeah, none of us got it.
I don't know where I got it, to be honest. I have no idea. I went to the dentist.
You probably
Coulda
got
gotten
it
it
at
there.
the dentist.
My mouth
got
was
it.
open the whole time. Just
Oh yeah, like gaping jaw at the dentist. That'll do it.
I went
for
to
you.
a grocery store. I mean, I could have got it anywhere. I don't know. Martin had it first, though.
Oh.
And he went to Disneyland earlier in the week with his
Okay.
pal for the day.
Okay,
He got
so
it first.
I would say
So
it's
I think
Disneyland.
that's where. I think
Yeah,
that's where
it goes Disneyland, Martin, then you.
He got rid of his kidney stones, but he came out
Yeah,
with
but he came
COVID.
out with COVID.
So it was a win-win.
Toss up.
So yeah, this NBA, there's the draft is happening, and there's this rookie who is a Mormon. He got drafted by, coincidentally, to the Utah Jazz, which is just like a funny little aside.
Oops.
But his name is Kyle Filipowski.
I accidentally deleted
Filipowski.
his name when I was trying to copy
Oh,
paste it.
Filipowski. He's 20, and he got drafted. He got drafted in the second round of the NBA, which is like, you know, your first round is like all the really good players. He was supposed to be drafted in the first round, but he fell back, and everyone's like, what happened? And then it came out that he has a girlfriend who's either 26 or 28. There's different reports on that. He's 20. She apparently babysat him when she was 18 and he was 10 or 12. And then they started dating, and she went to his prom, and then he has cut off all ties with his family and is now just with her Mormon family. And he's apparently like very awkward when they were like interviewing him, but his family, his brother and his mom, are on Twitter saying like his girlfriend wrote us a letter saying that we're not going to be able to talk to him anymore, that he doesn't want anything to do with us. And his mom is like, this is Mormon grooming.
Oh my God.
It's kind of weird. It's a weird story.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
if you're, wait, what was the ages when she was babysitting, you said? 18 and 12.
12.
Yeah, that ain't right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's I'm sorry.
It's a weird thing going on.
It's
Red flags.
yeah, you think that's a definite red flag.
Yeah, red flags.
Well,
so yeah, that's sports news.
So that's sports. So that
that's
is
sports.
Bimbo News Sports.
Did you see Simone Biles' her
Oh my God, she was so good.
Olympic trials thing.
It made me so happy because remember that whole weird thing happened with her boyfriend or husband where he was kind of like playing her a fool, where he said, she slid into my DMs. I didn't even know who she was. And
she's lucky to have me or something, or like I'm a catch or something.
He was just being a dick. And
what a weirdo.
Right. And no one knows who his ass is. I think he's a football player. I don't know.
Football player?
Yeah. But she just knocked it out of the park.
It's crazy when she does her, what does she do? Like 4 flips at something, whatever, her signature move or whatever.
It's like the hardest thing you can do.
Like she runs and she jumps and then somehow she keeps going higher in the air.
It's insane.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
When I was watching, I was like, that's like real life superhero stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, how are you not in the CIA or something? I mean, I understand.
Like running and jumping, but you're doing flips and you keep going higher. What was something like 12 feet off the air or off the floor?
And then they land right at the edge. And I'm like, how are you timing it and perfecting it so crazy?
How are your ankles okay?
I can't even walk straight. Like, and I'm not even, it's really the technical ability is
it's crazy
bananas. It's incredible. Speaking of other technical ability, I'm a Chapel Rowan head.
Oh, I've only been listening to Chapel Rowan the past
Me too.
month.
If she comes
Obsessed
to LA,
with
we
her.
have to go.
Yeah.
Although I know she's from LA or she was living here. But so I read that you can do CPR now to Pink Pony Club. Because it's 107 beats per minute. Yeah.
Because it's the same as
staying alive. Yeah.
Staying alive. Yeah, it is the same.
Yeah.
Wow.
The National Heart Association for Pride released that.
Wow.
So if you come across
you got
someone
Pink
who's
Pony
dying.
Club, it's staying alive. You got choices.
Yeah. So if someone near you needs CPR, you could just do Pink Pony Club and it'll be great. And you can save a life. Is someone who I don't love, who is not great, Katy Perry, who I think is such a dork. You know what I think she is? I think she's a dork.
Sucks.
I think she's a try-hard dork.
Yeah, she's a dork and she sucks.
Yeah. And I also have, listen, I don't know if she's on Ozempic, but I have a weird thing about skinny, already slender people being on
there are
Ozempic.
rumors.
And
there are rumors.
I just don't need that in my life. But she's releasing a new album and it's co-produced with Dr. Luke, who
why would you work with that guy?
I don't know. People are saying that she says somehow or like in contract with him or already still in contract with him, which I don't quite understand. I think she chose to work with him. Probably doesn't believe the stuff that he did to
I feel like if you're
Kesha and
Katy
Kelly
Perry,
Clarkson.
you could get out of a contract with someone. Like you're the biggest artist in the world. Like you don't.
Yeah, or
a
cause
choice.
a fuss,
Yeah,
at least
or say something.
Say something about it,
You see something,
say something. Yeah, Kesha just tweeted like LOL after she.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Right. I would be so pissed. But anyways, so she released a portion of her first song, and it is such a stinker. But someone, I sent you the tweet.
I saw that like a week ago. It's so funny.
Okay, so someone, I guess like a year ago on TikTok or something, had put up a video of their dog is afraid of the elevator. So they made up a song that they sing to their dog when they bring their dog in the elevator in their apartment complex. And I guess it was a viral TikTok, which I hadn't seen it. I don't really do TikTok. But someone was like, okay, this new Katy Perry song sounds exactly like this viral dog song. And it's true. Will you play both the little...
Yes. Okay, here's the Katy Perry.
So intelligent, she is heaven sent. So soft, so strong.
So that's Katy Perry.
That's Katy Perry.
Here's the dog.
Brave, she's well behaved. She is not afraid. She's powerful. She's a good girl. She is our whole world.
Same lyrics, literally same lyrics.
That's so funny. It's
so
the same
good.
song.
Yeah, I like the dog one better.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so funny. What a loser. And then also like a whole string of people have had to cancel their like quote unquote world tours. No joke to Justin Timberlake, who we'll talk about later. But J-Lo canceled her tour saying she wanted to like spend some time with her family. But it was just because there were no ticket sales.
The sales, people posted screenshots of the seats available in her shows. So many seats were available. She just wasn't. She was like, if she were to perform at smaller venues,
Totally.
but she was trying to do like an Eras tour,
And it's not happening.
she's just not that big anymore.
Well, also, first it was the Jennifer Lopez "This Is Me" tour, and it was
Right,
going to
and
be
they
all,
changed-
and then they changed it to like eras, like Jennifer
Greatest
Lopez
hits.
greatest hits, because no one just wanted to buy from her new album.
Because that new album did very,
Yeah,
did
like
not
what
do
was
well.
it anyways? And then it was canceled so she could spend time with her family. But now, like, she's in Italy alone, and
She is.
yeah, and Ben Affleck has been seen here like without his wedding ring and all this stuff.
I saw that
So-
he was moving stuff out of their house.
Yeah, because they are. Oh, and they're selling their house, right?
Yeah.
So
Their $60 million house that they bought like a year ago.
crazy. We'll see.
So nuts.
I feel bad. I mean, Ben Affleck cannot catch a break. I want peace for him. I think he needs to, honestly, he needs to move back to Boston and marry like a Red Sox fan. And I think he would be
Yes.
really happy.
Just a Boston gal.
He needs to marry just a
Yeah.
Boston girl. What about Amy Poehler? Ben Affleck, Amy Poehler? She's a
Also, like,
Bostonian, right?
He's like, people say that he doesn't like paparazzi and being in the spotlight.
Yeah,
Like, why would you marry J-Lo?
exactly. Yeah.
It's weird.
He honestly, I think he needs to move back to Boston, live in a small town, like go to Newton, meet a girl, meet a girl at
Meet
the
a
pack,
gal on,
meet a girl at the
Tinder,
pack. Yeah,
Bumble.
plenty of fish. Okay, Cupid.
Plenty of fish.
And just like call it a day,
Yeah.
man. Like give yourself
Yeah.
happiness. That's what you need, I think.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens there. True Crime Corner. I have not followed this at all.
Well,
Yeah, what's
there was
going on?
just an update like an hour ago.
Okay.
So this is the Karen Reed trial. I posted about it on our Instagram. There's a shit ton of TikToks about it.
Yeah.
So this woman, is it in Boston, I think? It's in Massachusetts.
Well, she's single
So-
now because her husband's dead, right?
Yes.
Well, Ben.
So, Ben?
Ben?
Yeah, Karen Reed. She's like a pretty attractive lady as well. I think she's like in her 40s-ish. So this man, he's a cop. He was found dead in the front yard of his friend's home in the snow,
Oh, God.
face down, one morning. And everyone's like, how the fuck? What happened? How did he die in the front yard? And people are saying that his wife, Karen Reed, backed into him on purpose at like 2 a.m. or whatever and sped off and drove off and killed him on purpose and left him there to die after they went to a bar.
Interesting.
And the house that he was found at was a cop's house. It's all cops involved.
Oh, that's not that. Boston
Yes.
cops?
It's all Boston cops involved, and they're all
Dirty.
They're all dirty.
Yeah.
So she is claiming she had no idea what happened. She did not back into him. She drove home. The evidence is like, apparently her taillight was broken, but they didn't find the pieces of the taillight until more detectives came the next day. There's footage of her car in the shop, but like it's reversed. So like it looks like the taillight isn't damaged or is damaged, like it was purposely reversed.
Weird.
And there's so many weird little cover-ups. And one of the detectives was on the stand, and he apparently, because they got Karen Reed's phone as like evidence, he was texting his friends like no nudes on her phone, or like I can't find anything, and like calling people like the R word.
Oh, God.
And just saying like the worst shit possible.
Oh, geez.
But it's people think that it's just all the cops covering up stuff.
Maybe the husband found out that the other cops were doing something dirty and was going to turn them in or something, and then they.
Yeah. The trial is finished, and as of an hour ago, so the jury was deliberating for 5 days.
Wow.
And they came back today with a letter to the judge that was like, we cannot come to a conclusion, yada, yada, yada. And the judge is like, okay, go back another hour. And the jury is divided. So it's a mistrial.
Fuck. What's it called? Like a hung jury.
Yeah, it's a hung jury. And the wording of it was like, it made it seem like there was like one person who was like, wanted her to be guilty based off of like opinion and like.
Really?
Because there's no way she would be found guilty because the evidence, the trial
reasonable
was
doubt.
insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely not reasonable doubt. So, but then like the city or the cops were like, we intend to try her again or do another retrial, but like there's just not enough evidence. It's so crazy.
Oh, I'm interested. That's wild.
I'm sure there's gonna be a
sure.
true crime doc about it.
Just waiting
it's
for
nuts.
5 minutes on Hulu. God, Jesus Christ.
And then also, you know what year anniversary it was a few weeks ago?
I saw that. The Titanic submersible.
Titanic submersible. That was a year ago.
Time does not exist. How was that a fucking year ago? That was last month that happened. That was
a month
crazy.
ago.
I don't
last
understand. I don't get it. But then someone said they want to try it again, right?
Yes.
Didn't someone say they want to do it again?
They're going to do it again. Someone's going to try to do it again. You're all idiots.
It's so crazy.
You're
like
all stupid.
One of the other co-founders who didn't go down the first time and didn't pass away was like, yeah, I'm going to try to get another group together to try it out.
Go for it.
Okay.
Have fun.
I can't remember if we talked about this on the podcast or not. Did we talk about the Glen Powell urban legend thing, or did we talk about it
No,
on our
I
group
don't
chat?
think so.
Okay, so my boyfriend, my very serious monogamous boyfriend, Glen Powell, was on some sort of podcast, and he was saying like, "Oh my God, my sister, like." She has a friend and she went on a date with this guy and he was massaging her back, and then like the next day she got a rash on her back where she was being massaged, and she went to the doctor and the doctor said that the stuff used on her back was used to break down human skin for cannibals. And he's like telling this with a straight face on a podcast.
Yeah.
And it turns out, I was like, oh my God, we have to get Glen Powell on the podcast. And I think it was you and Maria who sent me like 20
this
TikToks.
Sounds like an urban legend. So I Googled it and it's a classic urban legend. It's like the same one. Someone told me recently, they're like, oh my God, my friend's sister met a guy on Tinder and they had a date, and then like the guy didn't want to go home or stayed at the night, but like the girl, went into her bedroom and locked the door and was like, okay, good night. And then like the guy stayed in the living room and spent the whole night hanging up tarps.
Oh my God.
For when the girl came out of the room, he was planning on murdering her.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And I'm like, that's an urban legend, you
that
dummy.
That happened to Glenn's sister also. That happened to Glenn's other sister. So he told us on a podcast.
Glenn.
And then everyone was like, no, this is urban legend. And so he had to like retract. He tweeted being like, Sorry, I guess that was like an urban legend. And my sister never told me she was joking when she told me that story. So my whole life, I've thought this really happened to my friend's sister. And I didn't know my sister was just telling me a
Imagine
joke.
there's lotion that exists to break down human
I'm
skin.
sure it exists, but it didn't happen to Glen Powell's sister. Bless his heart. He has a little dog that looks just like Asher. And
Yeah.
he's like a family guy. Listen, I don't think we vote the same, but I don't care. I love my boyfriend, but if we don't work out, I'm going to try for Glen Powell. I'm just saying.
Glen Powell's really he's been around. Like,
guys hate him.
PR people
Yeah.
are pushing him on us. Like, it's crazy.
I think to understand Glen Powell, you have to have watched Scream Queens. Because he is so
I
good
did
in
not.
that. He is so funny and so good in that.
Okay.
Everything else he is hit or miss for me. I don't know. Something about him I love. Someone I don't love, Justin Timberlake.
Ugh.
Another dork.
Another big dork.
Another big dork.
Got arrested for
Yeah.
a DWI.
Which
driving
is-
while intoxicated.
What's the difference?
I don't know.
I don't know
Driving
either.
under the influence. I'm sure there's some sort
I'm
of
sure-
weird technical thing.
Varies. Yeah.
But he got arrested. And what's funny is the cop who pulled him over, I guess, was I think in his 20s or something.
Yeah.
And so he didn't know who Justin Timberlake was.
Which seems crazy.
I mean, if you're 24,
You know who Justin Timberlake is.
I don't know. You might not. I don't know.
I think he pretended to be cool and to be
mean, that is
authoritative, which is a hard move on the cop.
That is pretty funny, though.
If I was arresting a celebrity, I would pretend not to know who they were
I would too.
just to be mean. Like I would do
What's
that.
your name? Jennifer Lopez?
Yeah. If
Miss
I was
Lopez, come
or
here.
a waiter or a waitress, I would pretend not to know who they
Yeah.
were.
Yeah.
But the famous thing is I guess he said to first of all, I read a bunch of his friends showed up to when he was getting arrested to try to talk the guy out of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And the cop was like, that's not how arrests work. You can't just talk me out of it. And then I guess Justin Timberlake said this is going to ruin the tour. And then the cop said, what tour? And then he said, the world tour.
The world tour.
The world tour.
But he refused a breathalyzer.
Well, you're supposed to.
You're supposed to, even if you're not drinking?
Well, if you're not drinking, you should take the breathalyzer. But if you have been drinking, you're supposed to refuse it.
Oh.
Because then by the time they take you to
time has passed.
Yeah.
Okay.
'Cause then they
So I was
take you
why
to the
would
station.
he? So
Yeah.
he for sure was, because the picture, his mugshot, his eyes are so red.
have you seen the video of him performing? There's a video
That
going around
was-
of him performing, and he looks coked out to high heavens.
It's scary.
It honestly is scary. What did Maria just sent us a video of a watermelon? But anyway, so he looks coked out to high heavens, his
Yes.
eyeballs,
He's sweating. His eyes are huge. He's just
pupils
staring.
are dilated. He doesn't seem to know really where he is.
It's weird.
One of the dancers pats him to be keep moving forward. He looks zonked out of
He
his
looks
gourd.
zonked.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm not a huge fan.
No.
But we'll see what happens to his world tour. I really hope everything goes okay for him on the Trolls
When
world tour.
is his tour happening right now? Is
Bitch,
this his
I don't
world
know.
tour?
I have
don't
no
know.
idea what's going on with that
I
fool.
don't care.
Okay, so television. What have you been watching?
Well, I watched the Sherri Papini Hulu documentary.
I still need to watch that. It's getting the highest numbers and highest ratings.
Very good.
It
And
is.
I've watched the Datelines. We did a podcast episode. I know everything there is to know about Sherri Papini,
Yeah.
but this was still very interesting. There's some new information. It was very well done. There's something that they reveal in the last episode that is
Oh. Can you
No
say what it is?
spoilers.
Okay, no spoilers.
I don't want to. I mean, yeah, I guess it is kind of a spoiler, but yeah.
Okay, tell us.
But seeing there's footage of her, my favorite footage is when the cops come in to her and her husband, and they've figured out what happened, and they show the picture of the room that she was kept in because they found it.
Yeah.
And her husband's like, "Oh my God, you found him. You found the guy." And she's like, "I don't know if that's the right room." Like the husband is pumped. He's like, "Oh my God, thank God we've been searching for these people." And she's like, "I don't know."
Oh God, I have to watch that. I'll watch that.
Oh, it's good.
It's by I think that Erin Lee Carr.
Erin Lee Carr, yeah,
who does all the best documentaries.
Yes,
she's a great documentarian. She She also did the Stormy Daniels one.
That was really good too.
Yeah, she's a great documentarian. Orphan Black Echoes came out. It's the spin-off. I don't even know if I'd call it a sequel. It's like a spin-off to Orphan Black. Takes place in the future. It stars the bee in Apartment 23 or whatever. What's her name? Kristen Ritter.
Kristen Ritter?
Yeah. I'm sorry to say, I've watched the first 2 episodes. I don't love it. The reviews kind of are along the same vein.
Right.
This time, we're living in a future where cloning is legal, apparently, but now we are 3D printing people, I guess, and that is what we're looking into in this. I honestly don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, well, you would think so, but it hasn't been exciting yet. There's some old characters that come back that are kind of the only fun part. The only fun part so far is when they reference the old Orphan Black. I don't know if it's a show that can stand on its own unless they really make it meatier. Otherwise, it's just kind of exciting to reminisce about the old show.
I never watched the old show.
It's so good. The first season of Orphan Black is amazing. Tatiana Maslany, if I'm pronouncing her name right.
I like her. She's really good.
I loved her in She-Hulk, and I thought she was great. And then everyone said, watch Orphan Black. And she plays like 20 characters, and she is so good. I don't know how she didn't win a million awards. And
justice for Tatiana Maslany.
The first season is incredible. 2 and 3 are kind of only whatever, but they're worth watching and they're entertaining because you really start to care about the characters and the storyline and the plot. That so far is missing in Orphan Black Echoes for me. Same, I'll say, with Interview with a Vampire. I think it's season 3 that just got released.
Oh, it is. I watched a couple episodes from the first season.
Oh, it is.
I liked it.
Yeah, I love it so much. I think it's so beautiful. The acting is so good.
Yeah.
It's so horny. Lots of handsome men, but also a lot of emotional arcs and themes. And incredible acting. It's some of the best acting in a series I've seen in a very long time. This is not, no disrespect to our listeners, this is not Vampire Diaries. This is
fan favorite.
Elevated, listen, Vampire Diaries is high art, but
this is Interview with a Vampire.
This is Interview with a Vampire, and it's really great. The Boys. New season of The Boys out.
I haven't watched that. Everyone says it's great.
The last few seasons are great. This season I'm also not really gelling with.
Uh-oh.
It's a very satirical show, and I feel like they've kind of gone overboard with the satire to the point where it's all satire and like no plot. And it used to be a good mix of satirical jokes and actual plot that was moving things forward.
Would you say they lost the plot?
Yes, I would, Melissa. So if you're watching any of those shows, let us know what you think. Oh, and one more show I'm watching is Dark Matter on Apple TV.
Oh, is that good?
Joel Edgerton. Oh my God. It is.
I love Joel Edgerton.
Oh, I love Joel Edgerton too. And God, what's her name? Who's in it? Who all the boys love?
Sydney Sweeney.
No. This is who
all the boys love.
All the men love.
All the men love.
Jennifer Connelly.
Oh, yes.
It is a really great show about the quantum multiverse and how basically every decision we make makes a different version of us living a different life, and what would
Gotta get on
happen
that.
if we could like switch lives with alternate versions of us.
Jennifer
and
Connelly.
What would happen? It is a really, really great show. If you like science fiction kind of stuff, it's fantastic. Highly, highly recommend it. 9 episodes. It just finished. It's really great on Apple TV.
Another Apple TV show that I'm watching is Presumed Innocent.
I just can't. I'm
With
not
Jake?
a Gyllenhaal head.
You're not a Gyllenhaal head.
Every time I see him, I just see Jake Gyllenhaal. I can't see whatever character he's trying to play.
Yeah. I get that. It's a remake of, there's a 90s movie called Presumed Innocent, and which I just watched like within the past year, but I cannot remember what happened. It's about
Story
a
of my
guy
life.
like if he murdered his like mistress or not. And I was telling Martin, I was trying to think of that movie. I'm like, he either did kill her or he didn't, and I don't remember which one it is.
Can I tell you a secret? I
Yes.
cannot remember whether Sherri Papini really was kidnapped or if she faked it. I literally can't remember. Don't tell me. So
I
now I have to
won't
watch
tell
it dog.
you.
But when you were just saying that story, I was like, I
It's-
literally can't remember how it ends.
It's the Sherri Papini thing. There's a lot of weird twists and turns. It's easy to get confused as to what, because even
So
Martin was
same.
like, "Wait, was she kidnapped or not?" I was like, "I'm not telling you.
So I literally can't remember about that either.
Not telling you." And then The Bear season 3. Are you a bear head?
I've never watched it.
Oh,
It's too stressful for me, but I've heard it's really great.
It is. Yes, that first season is very stressful, but I'm loving it. I think it's great. I love Ayo Edebiri.
I love her.
She's great. Love some Jeremy Allen White. He's great as well.
Rat Boy Summer.
Rat boy. Yeah,
or
he's a
whatever
rat
the kids
boy.
are doing.
He's a rodent boy.
Rodent boyfriend. Movies. Inside Out 2. Did you see Inside Out 2
Oh
yet?
no, I didn't. But it's made like $1 billion.
Yeah, because I've seen it a billion times. Just kidding. It is so, folks. That is, I mean, listen, bring your kids to Inside Out 2.
I mean, I
but
loved Inside Out.
if you don't have kids, still see it. It's not for kids. It's for a 38-year-old women and men to contemplate their feelings and learn about life.
I'm
It
sure
is
it's great.
we introduce anxiety as our new emotion, which is like kids don't have anxiety really. So this movie's for adults, and
Right.
it's basically the message of the movie is anxiety is us using our own imaginations against ourselves and creating worst case scenarios and believing them to be true. So why can't we use our imagination to think that amazing things are going to be true as well? And it's just such a good. I know it's exactly why can't
great
we?
point.
Yeah, it's just such. These movies do it for me so hard.
Yeah. Yep.
I think it's such an incredible feat to do movies that actually like teach emotional regulation.
Yeah.
It's so incredible. I love these movies a
cool.
lot. They're really great, and the cast is great. The voices are great. So that's one movie that I have seen. I see you have a whole list that you've gone through.
Well, I saw Godzilla -1,
I did see that as well.
and you were bored by it.
I liked it. I didn't love it as much as everyone else. I liked it.
Oh, yeah, I liked it. It's a lot because Martin was like, "I'm gonna watch Godzilla -1." I'm like, I don't want to watch a fucking Godzilla movie.
Yeah.
I didn't know that it was like this art house. Like,
Yeah.
it was very, very good.
It's the CGI or whatever it is amazing. And
It's really good.
yeah, it's
Surprisingly good.
it's a beautiful emotional story
Yes.
with an ending that's very
Yeah,
sentimental.
I cried through a lot of it.
I did
Anything
not.
involving like children, I can't. I
Yeah.
can't do it anymore.
Oh, I
can't.
know for sure. Yeah, it's a good movie. I didn't love it as much
Yeah.
as everyone else did, but I did like it.
Yeah. And then I watched Bound, which is a movie from the Wachowski sisters right before they did The Matrix. This is a movie that got them The Matrix, and it stars Gina
Gershon.
What's her name? Yes.
And Jennifer Tilly.
Yes. And it's like a crime thriller / lesbian romance
I'm into
movie. It is so good. It is very good.
Do Gina Gershon and Jennifer Tilly kiss?
Yes, they do. Spoiler alert.
They kiss.
And they do. They do a little more than that.
Did you see The Quiet Place day one?
I did.
How was that? That's one movie I'm very curious about because I like The Quiet Place kind of.
I loved Quiet Place.
Yeah.
I think I gave this one like 3.5 stars.
Okay.
Like I liked it. I had a great time. Lupita Nyong'o is incredible.
Okay.
As always. And I don't know. I was kind of like, okay.
Can you give us any information without spoilers?
There's a cat involved.
Okay, well.
There's a cat.
I mean,
it's just like
plus or minus for people. Does the cat get hurt?
No. Cat does not die.
Okay.
Cat does not die. I mean, it's good. It's like a good disaster horror movie.
Yeah.
The creatures were
and it's
done
a
very
prequel,
well.
Right? It's
yes.
before
it's day one.
Yeah.
Is what it's called.
Well, they named it adeptly then. And we have some books too.
Oh wait, I want to talk about Poolman.
Oh shit! Yeah, I forgot. Okay, yeah, Poolman.
This movie got bad reviews. Okay, it was at not Sundance. It was at some other festival, and people were giving it terrible reviews.
Aww.
And I don't know why we got it through. Was it Sundance? Whatever, some festival, but we got it. And I'm like, I want to watch this just to see what everyone's saying about it.
Tell people what movie it is, just in case they don't know.
It's called Poolman, and it's written and directed and starring Chris Pine.
Another boyfriend.
Who I love.
Yeah.
I love Chris Pine. And it's like a LA noir, kind of like Big Lebowski-ish.
Love it.
It's kind of like his Big Lebowski. I loved it. I thought it was so funny and so hilarious. Chris Pine is so charming. And like I laughed out loud a lot. Like there's some really good jokes in it. And I went and saw the reviews and everyone's like, this sucks. This is stupid. Blah, 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 blah. This is awful. And I'm like, am I losing my mind? I thought this was a hilarious movie. And I tweeted, I'm like, everyone needs to fucking relax because Poolman is great. And then the official Poolman account retweeted me. And people are like, I think Chris Pine runs the official Poolman.
It's just Chris Pine. Yeah, I'm going to have to watch it because I love Chris Pine.
And it's very LA. There's a lot of LA jokes in it.
Yeah.
So maybe it's because I live here. I don't know.
There's some great videos of him eating sandwiches around LA and talking about his favorite foods. And also, I know that he loves to adopt and foster dogs. So I feel like he's a good person.
Okay.
And we should all just support people who like a good sandwich and love to foster a good dog. So I will watch The Poolman.
Yeah.
It looked good to me. Books.
Ooh, books.
I'll start by saying the only books I ever read are self-help books, as you guys know. But I was getting coffee with some girlfriends, and I was the first one there. And I was across the street. There's that store called Wacko, in Los Feliz.
Oh yeah,
where it's all the weird little tchotchkes. And
Spencer Gifts.
Yes, I was at Oz. And there is this book, Thoughts from Wabi Sabi, The Wisdom of Imperfection by Nobu Suzuki. And it's this awesome book about the beauty of imperfection and finding our purpose. And I don't know if you've seen those, what are they called? That pottery that's broken, kintsugi. It's this pottery that I've always really been fascinated with. It's this thing in Japan where things are more beautiful for having been broken. So it's this Japanese pottery and it's broken, but it's put back together with this like gold lacquer.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And so it's this phenomenon that things are more beautiful for having been broken. So like, what's the lesson that we can learn in our imperfections? And it's a whole book about how, like nothing is perfect, nothing is ever finished, nothing lasts forever. And kind of the magic of imperfection and how we can grow and learn in our imperfection, and how perfection is basically like just being our natural, authentic selves, because that's just like divinely who we were supposed to be. And that's when we're perfect, like mistakes and all. And it's a really beautiful book if you are interested in self-help stuff.
Sounds wonderful.
I really like it. I just want to read one part that says, Wabi Sabi is about learning to be okay with whatever it is that we are and with what we have in this moment. It doesn't take away our responsibility to strive to be better, more fully alive people. It means that once we realize that we are okay with the present moment, we move ahead every day, step by step, aiming not towards perfection, but towards our best selves, to discover the essence of who we really are, our ikigai. Also, I just want to read one more part. Okay. So
That's nice. You read the whole book?
yeah,
10 hours
I
later.
get sued for doing the audiobook
The end.
by Ali Siegel. Then this part I really thought was beautiful. This is from the prologue, The Magic of Imperfection. It is said that there was a monk in charge of the garden of a Zen monastery in Japan who had a peculiar habit. When sweeping the fall leaves from the stone path, he would let one leaf fall to the ground just before going back inside the house. Why did he do that? For one thing, the trees themselves would soon sprinkle the path with more golden leaves. For another, the Japanese ideal of beauty does not seek perfection, uniformity, and exact symmetry, but naturalness, the beauty conveyed by a fallen leaf in the empty garden of a Zen monastery. I just thought that was beautiful.
Nice.
Yeah.
How lovely.
The beauty conveyed by a fallen leaf in an empty garden of a Zen monastery.
Wow.
Just a nice image in my head floating
That's
around.
lovely.
Yeah.
Just a single leaf.
Yeah. Just a single leaf. It's perfect.
Well,
What
I've
about
got some
you? Yeah.
some books
I got some
to talk
book.
about.
I got some book to talk about.
I got a book to talk about. So Priyanka Mattoo, who is
Yes.
co-founder of Erios, wrote a memoir. And I went to her book launch thing in LA.
Yes.
And she read a chapter about her grandmother in it. Everyone was crying, made everyone cry.
Oh.
And I started to read it. I haven't finished yet, but it's very good. Like, she's very kind to her family. Like, it's just such a nice stories about, she moved around a lot as a kid. And it's really well written. Like, she's such a great writer. It's called Bird Milk and Mosquito Bones.
Yeah, it looks like
It's
a
just
beautiful
like a nice,
memoir and
comforting, like, I don't know, it's
nourishing.
great. Yeah, it's like a nice,
Nourishing
it's a
book.
nice book. It's a nice book. She made a nice book. And then I read some thrillers.
Ooh.
This author, Lisa Jewell.
I started the audiobook.
Oh,
Yeah.
We're in a book club with our pal
Right.
Paisley, and this book, Then She Was Gone, was the one from last month. It is so good. It's such a good thriller. And then I read another one of her books called None of This Is True. Oh, it's good. It's a good thriller.
I really liked it so far. My only problem is her British accent. For some reason,
Yes.
I'm having trouble getting through. Only because it sounds a lot like the British GPS accent on some Mercedes.
It is weird when you're listening to audiobooks. There's like different people's accent. Like, I have favorite my favorite
Yeah.
narrators.
For sure.
I
There's
did. I
something-
eventually liked her. The Then She Was Gone.
I have to get
narrator.
used to it.
It takes a while.
Like I can't remember. I think it's the Mercedes. You can choose to have like a British woman be your GPS, and she sounds exactly like
Wonder if it is
one
her.
of the GPS. Maybe honestly,
might
and that's
be her.
the only thing that's preventing me so far from getting in. Where I keep being like, she's about to tell me to turn left, but
Turn left onto Piccadilly Circus.
yeah. But otherwise, it's really good. And then Trashley.
Are you reading Trashley? Because you know.
I
Do you
know.
know the story?
Yeah, from when it happened, but I can't remember
Right.
it. I just know it as a friend from when it happened. I can't remember. I'm sure I don't
It's
know
on
it in as
part
depth.
41, I think we're up to. Part 41.
crazy.
It's near the end. It's Lauren Reeves' Substack called Trashley.
Maybe
I
we
started
should
reading
see if she
it
can
up.
come on Sunday.
Oh my God. I've been reading it. She writes like what she's been doing like 3 a week, but she started
Wow.
off doing like 1 a week, 2 a week. And now we're getting down to like the ending of like what's happening. It's a catfish story. She dated this woman who is not who she says she is.
Yeah.
There's a lot of money involved, secret families involved.
Yeah.
It is crazy. And Lauren is such a good writer.
She's such a good writer and so
And
funny.
it's funny, and it's the cliffhangers in every story are so good.
yeah.
And I'm
I think
hoping
this was her
that
first
this-
lesbian relationship too.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It's like I think it was like 2022, I think is when
Yeah.
this happened. But it's a year-long relationship she had with this woman, and it is
Yeah.
crazy. I hope it gets made into a movie or something. Like, it's that good.
I'll set up a group text for the 3 of us so
It's
we can have her on
so
and get into it.
good.
Yeah, it's really juicy.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
That's it.
That's it for today. We are going to start bringing these back to you with more things in weird. We appreciate your patience with us. If you know anything about the Karen Reed trial or where I can reach Glen Powell just to say hi,
Email.
please, email us or let us know. Or if you've ever passed a kidney stone on a roller coaster,
Right.
most importantly.
Most importantly.
All right. Well, I am Allie Siegel,
I am Melissa Stettin.
and that's all, folks.
Bye.
Bye.
All the news you can handle. So tune in to this channel. Everything you want to know about recent news and TV shows. Bimbo News.
Powered by Acast.